Good evening and welcome back to the Airborne Lawyer YouTube channel and to Athens in Greece, where you find us this evening ahead of our flight in the Boeing 787-8 that's just in front of us here back to London Heathrow. If you follow me on Instagram, you may have seen that I recently escaped some wet, windy and generally horrible weather back in the UK and flying out to the sunshine here in Greece. Well, it's now time to leave that sunshine behind and head back to London. We've got loaded up, we're pretty much all prepared, ready to fly. Get rid of the jetway, push back, start the engines and off we go. So let's jump straight into the cockpit. I'll catch you up on where we've got to here. I've done all the performance takeoff calculations down here in the EFB. Our V2 speed today is just 144 knots. That's on a Takeoff 2 D-rated thrust setting. We're pretty light for a Dreamliner. We aren't flying very far. Expected flight time this afternoon is just 3 hours and 15 minutes. So we'll be back in London in no time. We've got everything set up in the autopilot as well. So we're climbing up to flight level 400, 40,000 feet. We've got our V2 speed in there, and I've got the runway heading programmed in as well. Auto brakes are set to RTO. We've got the transponder on. We can switch over to Unicom on VATSIM very shortly once we are ready to push back. And we've also sorted out everything on the overhead panel as well. I think it's now time to disconnect the external power. Remove the wheel chocks. So we're now just on APU. And we can also say farewell to the jetway. And at this point, I'm going to turn on the beacon. So that now means the before start checklist is also complete. The before taxi checklist is next, but that comes once we've started the engines. So British Airways has been flying the Dreamliner down to Athens a few times recently. I don't know if that's again COVID related, whether it's a bit bigger to carry some cargo or whether it's to allow for social distancing on the aircraft. I think normally, in normal times, British Airways would be flying an Airbus A320, A321 maybe down to Athens. But we thought we'd make the most of it as they've been flying the Dreamliner down here and take the Dreamliner for a spin. Okay, so we've got rid of the jetway. Let's call out the pushback tug. And whilst we're waiting for that to do its thing, let's take a look at today's route. So we are going to be flying the Corinthos 1 Foxtrot departure today off runway 21 left. We're expecting to fly into Heathrow via the Alesso 1 hotel arrival. That takes us in via Biggin Hill. At the moment at Heathrow they are flying into runway 09 left and right. We will check to see what the weather is doing once we're a bit closer into London. Otherwise, the SIDS and stars aside, it's a fairly straightforward route just up the east coast of Italy and then into mainland Europe, touching into a bit of Austria, a bit of Germany, a bit of France, and then into the UK. Okay, pushback tug is now in position, so let's pull back from the gate. It's going to be a nose right, tail left pushback this afternoon. So I'm releasing the parking brakes. And away we go.
Ground to flight deck.
Go ahead from cockpit.
Cleared to start engines.
Roger. Clear to start engines. Start both engines.
Okay, starting engines.
You can turn those cockpit announcements off if you wish on the Dreamliner, but I quite like them. Just adds a little bit of extra depth and realism to the experience. Engine start never takes long on the Dreamliner, and of course you can start both at the same time, so that's a big time saver. And there we are, both are now running. So before taxi checklist, well, we don't need the anti-ice on. 24 degrees out there. 24 degrees centigrade, that is. Let's check the recall. Nothing on there, but we can now turn off the APU. Flight controls we will check momentarily. So I can see on the stat page there that the APU is starting to cool down. Electrics all green, hydraulics all green, fuel looks fine. Obviously we're pretty light on fuel, as you might expect for a short haul flight in Dreamliner. Air conditioning all looks good. Doors are all closed and armed. Gear looks fine, and that brings us to the flight control page. So rudder we'll check in a moment. Ailerons to the left, ailerons to the right. Elevators down, elevators up. Check the spoilers. And just whilst we're waiting to get into position after the pushback, I'm just also going to check here our takeoff trim, which needs to be set to 4.00, which it already is. Okay, we've gone a little onto the grass there on the pushback, but such is life, we can live with that. And we're now back on the line. There might just be a few blades of grass and a bit of mud on some of the tyres on the right hand side, but the joy of simulation is that doesn't really matter. As soon as we stopped and I've put on the parking brakes, I'm going to check the rudder is working. Okay, there we are. Rudder to the right and rudder to the left. Okay, flight controls all checked, so back to the checklist and we can tick that off. We also have good engine start, so I'm going to confirm that to the GSX team, and they will now begin the process of disconnecting. Before takeoff checklist, we're just going to sort that out as well now, so I'm going to set the flaps to 5. It's not on the before takeoff checklist, but I'm also just going to check here that in my navigation display I have the weather radar on and it's showing any traffic that's active in the area. Over here on the right hand side I've got terrain showing. So in Greece there is a fair amount of hilly terrain around, so we have to be a little bit careful, but of course provided we follow our published departure route we will be absolutely fine, and that's all programmed into the FMC. So just waiting for the tow truck to fully disconnect. It's pulling back now. Otherwise everything is now all set for departure. As always, feel free to make yourself a 3-course meal while the man here walks back to the tow truck at the pace of someone walking along a beach on holiday. I know I always comment on this, but what can I say? I value consistency. Right, and left, all clear. He's now going to wish us a very happy journey. And in his own good time, we'll now return to his truck. So we're all set now. As soon as that's out of the way, we will begin our taxi. Now, it's the Dash 8 Dreamliner, and we are very low on fuel. I mean, we have a safe amount of fuel. We have the right amount of fuel for a flight of this length. But by Dreamliner standards, we are going to be flying quite light. So we will not need any taxi power whatsoever. I'm just going to be riding the brakes all the way to runway 21 left. Oh dear, he's on the grass now. Let's get the taxi lights on. Runway 21 left is just the runway over to our right hand side here, so we're just literally going to go straight down this taxiway and we'll be just about there. Okay, here we go. Just as soon as I take off the foot brakes, the plane starts moving forward on idle power. So this is one of my feature-length flight sim episodes. I also put up a lot of flight sim shorts on the YouTube channel. But in this episode we'll be going the whole way. I will be time-lapsing it, of course. So whilst this is a 3-hour 15-minute flight for me, it will just be a matter of a few moments after takeoff and we'll be on our approach into London Heathrow. Again, idle power. I haven't moved the thrust levers forward at all, and we're now cantering along at 23 knots. It shows how powerful the engines are. It shows how the different composite materials that make up the Dreamliner, how much lighter this aircraft is in comparison with Boeing predecessors. And of course, all of that plays a big part in achieving competitive fuel efficiency on this aircraft type. Just going to apologise now for the default graphics that I have. I do not have any add-on graphics for Athens. But as I've said numerous times on this channel, for me it is all about the flying. I do have add-on graphics for the airports I fly to most frequently, but I just tolerate the Spartan default graphics at airports which I'm just visiting for one-off purposes. I have been to Athens before on flight sim, but I don't fly out here all that often. But again, when you've got used to some of the scenery, even the default scenery on Microsoft Flight Sim 2020, it does look pretty basic taxiing around an airport on Prepare 3D, even though this is version 5 of Prepare 3D. So here we are. Lovely. Saying that about the scenery, in fairness, it looks pretty nice over there. It's just at close quarters where it's a little bit more basic. So here we are, almost out at the holding point for runway 21 left. In the Dreamliner, I always just taxi a little bit beyond the yellow line before making the turn. I find that gives me a cleaner turn and avoids straying off the taxiway. So just over the shoulder and then around we go. Just going to flip over now to Unicom. I am on VATSIM today. There aren't any controllers on at Athens right now. But once we get to the holding point, I will announce my intentions. Plenty of aircraft on their way to Athens, just checking the VAT scope map at the moment. Plenty of aircraft on their way, but none in the immediate vicinity that I need to be too concerned about. I will, however, as a good VATSIM citizen, announce my intentions ahead of pulling onto the active runway. Athens traffic, Speedbird 637, lining up and taking off runway 21 left. Athens traffic. Okay, so landing lights on, strobes on, and wing lights on. I'm also now just going to start the clock. And away we go. So I'm just going to push the thrust levers forward to around about 50%, N1. And then I'm going to engage toga.
Check thrust.
This is a Takeoff 2 derated takeoff today. So we are now
80 knots.
doing our takeoff roll
Check.
with just 68% N1.
B1. Rotate. B2.
Positive rate.
Positive rate. Gear up. Autopilot on.
Autopilot on, and
Autopilot in command.
just going to put it into flight level change mode for the moment. Athens traffic, Speedbird 637, airborne 2,400 feet, clear of runway 21 left. Athens traffic.
Flaps 1.
Flaps 1. And we'll just up the speed a bit now. Take it up to 250 knots.
Flaps up.
Flaps up. Okay, so after takeoff checklist, landing gears up, flaps are up. Just going to take out the navigation display a little bit now. Turn off the taxi lights.
With our flight underway, I'd like to once again welcome you aboard. I'd also like to offer a special welcome to our
That looks nice over there. Nice reflection off the water. You can see it's late afternoon light
In just a few minutes,
here in Greece.
After takeoff checklist.
After takeoff checklist is complete.
In coach, beer, wine, and margaritas can be purchased with a debit or credit card. We apologize if we do not accept cash. In-flight entertainment available on this aircraft includes
So one thing, I think, yeah, I'm just going to set the transition altitude, which I believe is 9,000 feet. It's certainly lower than 18,000 feet, so we'll just pop that in there. And then we'll switch over to standard pressure very, very shortly. Zoom out of our right-hand map there. standard pressure. The weather is lovely and clear, so I'm also going to turn off seatbelts. I'll turn off wing lights. And we're now through 10,000 feet, so I'm going to turn off landing lights. So farewell to Greece. Next stop is London Heathrow. I'll be there in about 3 hours' time, but I'm going to time-lapse it for you and speak to you in just a few moments' time once we are on approach on the Alesso 1 Hotel arrival. Speak to you shortly.
I try so hard to fade away, but something's forcing me to stay. It'd be easier for me if I turn away to flee. Oh, but there's something holding on, the way of being long gone. There's so many ways to escape, but I guess it's time to wake up, time to wake up. Far too many ways to escape, but I guess it's time to wake up, time to wake up. Time to wake up, time to wake up, baby. Time to wake up, time to wake up. Time to wake up, time to wake up, baby. Time to wake up, time to wake up. I know I should have done this, should have quit this long ago. Can't stand another heartbreak, but it's time to let it go. It'd be easier for me if I turn away to flee. Oh, but there's something holding on, the way of being long gone. There's so many ways to escape, but I guess it's time to wake up, time to wake up. Far too many ways to escape, but I guess it's time to wake up, time to wake up. Time to wake up, time to wake up, baby. Time to wake up, time to wake up. Time to wake up, time to wake up, baby. Time to wake up, time to wake up.
Welcome back to the flight. We are currently in French airspace and just 14 miles now from top of descent. We have had another sunset chaser of a flight back as we've headed from the east to the west. We still haven't lost sunlight entirely. It's obviously dropping quite low now, but
204 Delta, continue climb flight level 200.
still plenty of sunlight out there.
Continue climb flight level 200, top to 204 Delta.
So the flight is running to time. We are currently 2 hours and 49 minutes into the flight up from Athens. And we are going to start our descent now in less than a minute. And we are going to start making our way into Heathrow via the Alesso 1 Hotel arrival. So we'll take a look at that in just a second. First of all, as per the FMC message that's just appeared here, I'm going to reduce the altitude setting on the autopilot.
Ladies and gentlemen, please check that your seatbelt is securely fastened.
Okay, so here we go into our descent, and I'm just going to actually increase the altitude up to flight level 180, 18,000 feet.
Speedbird 637, do you need descent?
Roger, sorry, we've just hit top of descent. Can we request flight level 180, Speedbird 637?
For sure, Speedbird 637 initially, descent flight level 300.
Flight level 300 initially, Speedbird 637. My mistake there, I just started the descent a little prematurely, forgetting that I need to ask the air traffic controller to do so. So yeah, we're going down to flight level 300 initially, and let's now take a look at the chart.
Identified, Artus 8 kilo arrival.
This is the Aliso 1 Hotel arrival. It flies in a straight line from Aliso straight into Biggin, and you can pretty much see that on the nav display as well. Now, as the chart shows here, it's flight level 180 by ETVAX, so that's why I've requested flight level 180.
Contact Swiss
And we're
radar
going to expect something along the lines of flight level 70 or 7,000 feet, depending on transition altitude, once we get to Biggin.
Salut. Speedbird 637, no further ATC, Unicorn 122.8, bye-bye.
Unicorn 122.8, thanks for the service, Speedbird 637. Okay, so switch back over to Unicorn. Let's just quickly tune in on the right-hand radio to see if we can pick up any ATIS at Heathrow.
Zero Zulu.
There we go.
Automatic. Runway in use 09 right. Transition level flight level 75. Surface wind 060 degrees 6 knots. Visibility 10 kilometers or more. Scattered 2,800 feet. Broken 3,300 feet. Broken 4,000 feet. Temperature +12. Dew point +8. QNH 1006. Turbulence may be encountered in the final stages of the approach. Delivery is closed. For start clearance, contact ground on 121.7. Increased bird activity within the aerodrome boundary. Acknowledge receipt of information Foxtrot. And report aircraft type and current QNH on first contact with Heathrow.
Okay, information Foxtrot.
Heathrow information Foxtrot.
We'll check back in on that in a little while, but that's told us some really useful stuff that we can now put in to our flight plan. So I'm just going to switch the CDU up here. So to start with, the transition altitude on the way down is going to be 7,500, or transition level flight level 75. So I'll pop that in there. We also now know that we're going to be landing on runway 9 right. I'm going to put in the Biggin transition just in case we need it. And now that we're on Unicom instantly, I'm going to now continue my descent down to flight level 180. Let's now pop the FMC down there, bring up our navigation display again, and just check that this all works. So we're going to go to the plan, bring up the legs page down here, and just step through that. So into Biggin. Okay, now that doesn't look quite right. I'm not quite sure what's going on there. So let's have another look. What we're just going to do instead is go direct to Biggin, and then I've put in ILS 9 right in here. So we will then make our own way from Biggin to intercept the localizer on ILS 9 right if we don't have vectors provided by air traffic control. So it's runway 9 right. We've now also put in the transition level. We know the winds are going to be 060 degrees at 6 knots, so they're going to be coming a little bit from our left-hand side. And also, it's going to be very cloudy, potentially turbulent. I can confirm, sitting here in Cambridge, which is about 50 miles north of London, that the weather is pretty unpleasant out there. It's very cloudy and very wet as well up here. It doesn't sound like it's raining at Heathrow at the moment, according to the METAR, but it certainly is up here. Let's also now, whilst we've got the time to do so, take a quick look at the approach plate for ILS 09 right. So we've got the localizer and everything tuned in via the FMC, but one of the key things which we're looking for here is the minimums for landing. And I can see down here that for category C aircraft we have a minimum descent altitude of 237 feet. So hold that thought, 237 feet, and I will contact the Heathrow Director and check in with him before we set that into our primary flight display. So Heathrow Director is on 119725. And there we go.
That's 190. Oh, sorry about that. We're at 250 indicated. Speed 969.
2969, speed 280 knots indicated or greater.
Alright, speed 28 or greater for now. Speed 969.
Scaries 180, descend flight level 240, speed 250 knots.
Descend 240, speed 250.
So I've just put in 240 feet into the minimum setting there on the PFD, so I now know
we're in F542 on in future, so you need to follow your arrival. Stop descent 3,000
set
feet,
up,
please.
ready for our landing.
Right, heading 180 degrees, speed 180 knots.
I'm coming straight into 109 right, your test flight. Why have we got loads of planes in the area?
Would you like to log off for your test flight?
No, what is it, what do you want me to do?
Turn right, heading 180 degrees, speed 180 knots.
180 degrees, 180 knots.
And close your mic.
2909 uniform, could land 09 right with 060 degrees, 7 knots.
Could land 9 right, 909.
Heathrow Director, speedbird 637.
637, standby.
Okay, he knows we're now on frequency at least. So yeah, sorry, I've got my minimums put into the
637 Heathrow,
PFD.
LSO 1 hotel, descend flight level 180 to be level at back.
LSO 1 hotel, flight level 180, level at back, speedbird 637.
Run F5421, turn left heading 120 degrees.
What we can also now do
right.
is take a look at the EFB. So show landing.
120 degrees, 120 degrees, unknown right for ILS land. Thank you.
Two 969, descend flight level 140.
Level 140 is Beaver 969.
Skyrays 180, descend flight level 200.
Descend flight level 200.
So I'm just putting in the various bits of
Could you increase your speed, please? 280
weather
knots.
data, which we just got from the METAR. 0606 for the winds. Outside air temperature is 12 degrees. And the QNH is 1006. I've just copied over our landing weight, which is expected to be about 155,000 kilograms. It's a bit cloudy, but I think it's going to be a Cat 1 nonetheless. We'll have flaps 30, anti-ice will be off. We'll give no credit to the reverse. We'll have spoilers on
ILS
auto.
established 09 right, 5421.
And auto brakes
5421, speed
on.
160 knots, or greater
There we
to
are.
4 DME.
And we'll calculate that. That gives
4
us a
DME,
VREF
160
of
knots.
136. I will send that to the FMC.
Speedbird 637, route direct
Accept.
Ockham, Oscar Charlie Kilo.
Direct Ockham, Oscar Charlie Kilo, speedbird 637. Okay, this is unexpected. We need to go to Ockham instead of Biggin.
2969, descend flight level 90, speed level at Lambourne, leave Lambourne, heading 265.
Depart land board heading 265 and descend maintain 9000 by land board, speed 969.
Okay.
Skyways 180, descend flight level 170.
So we're now departing our published approach route.
Speed 969 and reduce speed 260 knots. 260 knots, speed
And we're still descending down to flight level 180.
5421, clear the land 09 right, wind 060 degrees 7 knots.
But we have no other
Have winds.
indication at the moment
I'll establish 09 right, clear to land.
as to
Flight
what
19,
our
flight
descent
41.
clearances might need to be.
2909 uniform, contact the ground 121.9.
What flight levels will need to be at which point, now that we're going direct to Ockham. We will just listen out and follow the clearances that were given by ATC. Lots going on here all of a sudden. Okay, so we're now going direct to Ockham. We have calculated our landing performance data. We've sent that over here and accepted it. Let's just double check that. Yeah, so we've got a VREF of 136 with flaps 30. Let's do a checklist and see if there's anything we've forgotten. So,
Skyways 9080, leave land
let's
board
recall.
heading 265, descend flight level 160.
Nothing on recall. We've looked at the various charts that we're using today, and that's all fine. Auto brakes, we are going to set to 1.
Skyways 180,
So they
leave
are
land board
set.
heading 265, descend flight level
VREF
150.
and minimums we have also put into the system. So the approach briefing line is now complete.
Speedbird 637, when ready, descend flight level 100.
Flight level 100, Speedbird 637. Yeah, we can continue down to flight level 100 now. I'm just going to turn on the seatbelt signs and the wing lights and the logo lights for good measure. So we're coming into a lot of that cloud now. Sadly, we've lost the sunset that we've been enjoying for most of the flight. It's now an interesting kind of rosy pink colour. So
Skyways 9080, descend
we are
flight
now
level 90.
descending under instruction, having been vectored to Ockham. But I'm comfortable that if we reach flight level 100 by the green line here on our navigation display, that will be fine. What we don't want is a situation when we're coming in too steep and suddenly have to sort of do a nosedive into the runway or something.
Speedbird 790, descend flight level 80.
Flight level 80, sir.
Speedbird 96, disregard.
Just thinking, we must be coming right over the top of Gatwick, given the vector that we're on. Yes, so just looking at the navigation display down here, EGKK is Gatwick, so it's about 20 miles in front of us and just off to the left-hand side. So we'll have to keep an eye out for that just down there. Obviously we're high enough not to lose separation with any traffic going into and out of Gatwick. But still, this is slightly unusual. I don't think I've been vectored over to Ockham before from a big-in arrival. That being said, I just hesitated because I don't actually do big-in arrivals that often, because I normally end up flying long-haul. There aren't all that many long-haul routes that come into big-in.
Vacate left.
Just going to double check in
Runner 5421, turn right on Alpha.
VNav. that we
Turning
have...
right on
Well, we don't
Alpha.
actually, I thought I had that in there. I'm going to put in a speed restriction of 250 knots below 10,000 feet.
Scarries 180, speed 250 knots or greater.
250 knots or greater, Skyways 180.
Bluebird 790, speed 220 knots.
Speed 220 knots, is that 90? Where we go now?
I'm just going to put out the speed
Minus
brakes
5421,
at this
contact
point.
ground 121.9.
121.9, thank you.
Looking at our primary flight display, there's a pink line opposite.
2790, 25 track miles,
240
right,
knots.
to altitude 4,000 feet, QNH
So that's what the plane is now trying to
1006.
slow up to. I'm just going to give it a helping hand by putting out the speed brakes.
QNH 1006.
There is Gatwick, just down there.
637 descend, flight level 80, speed 250 knots.
Flight level 80, speed 250 knots, speed bird 637. So down to 80 and 250 knots. So I'm just going to put it into
180, descend,
flight level
level
change mode at this
80.
stage. That'll make it nice and straightforward.
Flight level 80, Skyways 180.
Yeah, so quite a decent view of Gatwick over there. There we are.
Super 969, we are at 9,000, heading 265 now. Roger, sir, my radar agrees with you on that.
Approach checklist.
Approach checklist is not quite complete. We haven't gone through transition altitude yet. Looks like there's some landing traffic coming into Gatwick just down there. I can see a little dot of light. Just about to touch down on 08 right.
Speed 790, turn left, heading 240 degrees.
240 degrees, 790.
Okay, so we're through 10,000 feet now, so I'm going to turn on the landing
Speed
lights.
637, leave Ockham, heading 275.
Leave Ockham 275 degrees, speedbird 637. So yeah, get on all the lights.
Scarries 180, speed 250 knots.
Yeah, doing 250 knots, Skyways 180.
Roger, maintain to advised.
Roger.
Speed 969, descend, flight level 80.
This, as I say, is an unusual approach to Heathrow. I don't think I've ever been vectored over to Ockham before like this, and it's interesting how I get to see some different scenery. So
Speedbird 790, speed 180 knots or greater,
think
descend to altitude 3,000 feet.
that's the M25 motorway just down there.
180 knots or greater.
That line. The M25 is, for those of you who aren't familiar with it, it's the orbital motorway which goes around London. So London is just inside the circle, and the M25 goes around the outside of it. Yeah, that's the M25 down there. So if you imagine the M25 is like a clock, Heathrow is at 9 o'clock on that clock. Gatwick is down at 6 o'clock. So we're just going from one to the other at the moment. Okay, so we're now at flight level 80. We're holding 250 knots.
Speed 790, turn left, heading 180 degrees.
180 degrees, 790.
17879, Heathrow, hello, hold November Bravo 11.
November, hold Bravo 11.
Negative, hold at November Bravo 11.
Hold November, Bravo 11.
Just 4 miles now from Ockham.
Scarries 180,
Once we're overhead Ockham, I'm going to turn left to
30 miles, 09
275
right, descend
degrees.
to altitude 4,000 feet, QNH 1006.
Descend 4,000 feet, QNH.
Some flashing lights just over there. So you've got some bodies of water and some flashing lights. Flashing lights are Heathrow. So
Speed
very
break,
close
hello,
now.
725 track miles, 09 right, descend to altitude 4,000 feet, QNH 1006.
Down to 5,000 feet, QNH 1006, speedbird 637.
4,000.
Sorry, 4,000 feet, speedbird 637.
2969, reduce speed 220 knots.
220 knots, Speedbird 969.
Speedbird 790, turn left heading 120 degrees, clear ILS 09 right.
120 degrees,
Let's
clear
just
ILS.
hear what the ATIS has to say.
006.
Hellacious
Turbulence may be encountered in the final stages of the approach delivery is closed.
Hello,
Start
November
clearance,
runway.
contact ground on 121.7. Increased bird activity within the aerodrome boundary. Acknowledge receipt of information Golf. And report aircraft type and current QNH on first contact with Heathrow.
I haven't flown in about a month.
Heathrow information Golf.
So it's now information Golf.
0 Zulu. Automatic. Runway in use 09 right. Transition level flight level 75. Surface wind 060 degrees 7 knots. Visibility 10 kilometers or more. Fuel at 4,000 feet. Temperature plus 11. Dew point plus 8. QNH 1006. Turbulence may be encountered in the final stages of the approach delivery.
So information Golf we now have. No real change. Still 09 right. Still transition level 75, which we've now gone through. So we're now at QNH 1006, and the wind is fractionally stronger at 0607 knots. It's also got a little bit colder, but you kind of expect that. Oh, there we go.
Speed 160 knots.
Full sound back. You'd expect it to start dropping temperature, given that it's now the
Skyrise
evening.
180, turn left heading 160 degrees, speed 180 knots.
Heading 160.
So I'm going to complete the approach checklist now as we've switched the altimeters over to QNH 1006, local pressure. And next checklist for us to complete will be the landing checklist. Still doing 250 knots.
Qantas 7879, if you could expedite please, traffic 7 miles final.
No problem.
Heathrow Director, Speedbus 637, are we clear to start slowing up a bit?
637, speed 220 knots.
220 knots, Speedbus 637.
Skyrise 180, descend to altitude 3,000 feet.
Descend altitude 3,000 feet, Skyrise 180.
296925, track mile 09 right, descend to altitude 5,000 feet, QNH 1006.
1006, descend 5,000, speed 969.
That's Farnborough Airport, just down there, which hosts the big air show every couple of years, and it also has a lot of kind of executive
And we do have
jet
information
activity.
Golf for 969. Roger, through 637, turn right heading 360 degrees.
Hang on a second. Oh, no, that's
637,
that's
turn right
Farnborough.
heading 360 degrees.
360 degrees, Speedbus 637. Well, enough of my sightseeing. I've got some
180,
flying to
turn
do.
left heading
Turning right
120
to
degrees,
360
descend to
degrees now.
altitude 2,500 feet.
120, descend 2,500 feet, Skyrise 180.
Shuttle 1468 behind, landing company A319, via November Bravo 8, line up 09 right behind. Behind landing company 319, line up running 09 right behind, shuttle 1468. Skyrise 180, cleared ILS 09 right.
Cleared ILS 09 right, Skyrise 180.
And Speedbird 790, clear the land 09 right, the wind 060 degrees 7 knots.
Let's land runway 09 right, 2990.
2969 and turn left heading 230 degrees.
Very, very busy on the air traffic control.
Speedbird 637, speed 180 knots, turn right heading 020 degrees.
180 knots and right 020 degrees, Speedbird 637.
Qantas 7879, report your passing level.
Passing 2,300 feet, Qantas 7879.
Roger, and Sunday, want to correction, Sunday 25 Alpha, descend, flight level 160, level by Sabre.
Descent flight level 160, level at Sabre.
Qantas 7879, climb flight level 150.
150.
Speedbird 637, descend to altitude 3,000 feet.
3,000 feet, 637. So one thing which we've not covered yet is the missed approach procedure for runway 09 right, in the event that we have to go missed.
969, turn left heading 180 degrees, speed 180
Very
knots.
straightforward. Very straightforward for 09 right. It's just straight ahead, climb to 3,000 feet, and
Skyrise
continue
180,
as
speed
directed.
160 knots till 4 DME.
Speed 160 to 4 DME, Skyrise 180.
Start getting the flaps out.
Speed 637, turn right heading 060 degrees, cleared ILS 09 right.
Right to 060 degrees, cleared ILS 09 right, Speedbird 637.
2969 and turn left heading 150 degrees, descend to altitude 4,000 feet.
150, 4000, Fever 969.
Corner 7879 en route direct Brain.
Direct Brain, Quantum 779.
Ladies and gentlemen, in preparation for landing,
Speed 637, speed 160 knots till 4 DME.
164, Speedbird 637.
2969 descend to altitude 3,000 feet.
all carry-on items. Additionally,
3000 it is, Fever 969.
return to their original position.
Director, good evening, Shuttle 8 Bravo, Dasso. Shuttle 8 Bravo, Heathrow Director, good evening, hold November Bravo 10.
Oh, November Bravo 10, Shuttle 8 Bravo.
Shuttle 1468, surface wind 060 degrees, 7 knots, runway 09 on the right, clip takeoff.
Okay, so just putting on approach hold on the autopilot in readiness to capture the
790, welcome to
localizing
Heathrow,
velocity.
left Alpha, ground 121.9.
121.9, left Alpha, Speed 990.
Speedbird 969, reduced speed 160 knots.
160 now, Speedbird 969.
Corner 7879, confirm you're going direct Brain. Speed 969 and turn left heading 120 degrees, cleared eye left 09 on right.
Left 120, clear out, 09 right, Speedbird 969, thanks.
Speedbird 637, speed 160 knots till 4 DME.
160 to 4, Speedbird 637. Okay, so we can now see the airport just in front of us.
Sorry,
Slightly
for
hazy,
Quantum
but
7. I
clear
can't go
enough.
direct to Brain because the FS2020 787 is not great. Sorry about that.
Roger. Confirm you're currently direct Brookman's Park.
Yeah, we're flying direct to there because it's part of the waypoint, but it wouldn't let us go to any direct waypoints in other places.
Roger. Scammers 180, kid
So
line
just
09
setting-
right, wind 060 degrees, 7 knots.
Clear to landing 09 right.
Just setting 3000 in the autopilot
Cathay 2,
in the event of a
text.
missed approach.
Right, he can wait then. Shuttle 8 Bravo behind, landing Skyway.
On the speed brakes now.
738 fine, November Bravo 10, line up 09
Landing gear
right
down.
behind.
Beyond the landing, Skyway 7378, we're line up 09 right behind, Shuttle 8 Bravo.
Shuttle 1468, report your passing level.
Shuttle 146, passing 1,600.
Shuttle 1468, roger, identify, climb flight level 110.
Can you just say identify, climb flight level 110, Shuttle 146.
Yeah, well, I know you're the one who keeps complaining, or kept complaining whenever I did during training.
I think
so I thought
both
I'd
of
give
these
it to you.
people are VATS and controllers, hence the banter going on here.
You let an MSFS pilot in front.
I let an MSFF pilot who was a heavy in front.
Called out.
Speedbird 969, a speed 160 knots till 4 DME.
164 DME, Speedbird 969.
Corner 7879, multi Unicom 122.8.
Unicorn wants to do is make Quantum 779.
And Sunday 9 Alpha, descend flight level 90, leave Lambourne heading 265.
Okay, I'm going to now reduce down to VREF, which is 136.
AFM, descend flight level 90,
And-
leave Lambourne heading 265.
Turn off the autopilot.
Descent 90 and Lambert 265.
And I have control.
Heathrow Director, good day, Speedbird 79,
So we can get out the remainder of the flaps.
Juliet, flight level 290, descending flight level 250, Logan 2 Hotel.
Shuttle 8 Bravo, wind 060 at 7, 09 right, nose leg, cliff takeoff.
This is going to be quite tight.
Shuttle 8 Bravo, wind 060 at 7, 09 right, cliff takeoff.
AFM headset unplugged, takeoff 09 right, Shuttle 8 Bravo.
Speed 637, reduced to minimum approach speed.
Minimum approach, Speedbird 637.
2969, disregard.
Copy.
This is going to be quite close.
Right, who was the initial call?
Speedbird 907,
prepared here
Juliet,
to
flight level
go missed if needs be.
275, descending
Straight
flight
ahead,
level
climb to 3000 and then as directed.
Logan 2 Hotel.
Speedbird 977 Juliet, Logan 2 Hotel, descend flight level 250.
Descend flight level 250, Speedbird 977 Juliet.
Scaries 180, ground 121.9.
Just about to see the plane in front of me. I think he might just get off the ground in time.
Heathrow Director, Liberia 3166, flight level 183, descending to cross Hazel, flight level 130, information call up on board.
Through 637, kid land 09 right, wind 060 degrees, 7 knots.
Clear to land, 09 right, Speedbird 637.
Shuttle 8 Bravo, report your passing level. Passing 1,000 feet, Golf Charlotte Bravo. Golf Charlotte Bravo, you're also identified. Climb flat level 110.
Approaching minimum.
Climb flat level 110, Charlotte Bravo.
Minimums.
Iberia 3166 Heathrow, good evening. Roxog 1 Hotel, descend flight level 130.
Got the ultra bright Dreamliner landing lights again.
Iberia 366.
50.
Shuttle 1468, climb flight level 140.
20.
Climb flight level 140, shuttle 1468.
Reverse thrust.
Alex, you've overshot that turn. Doesn't look like it. I wondered if you believe me.
Please approach Shuttle 7 Sierra with you, Number 1 Hotel arrival.
I'm not going to be able to turn off there, am I? Maybe here.
Stand by.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will be taxiing for the next few minutes, so please remain seated with your seatbelt fastened.
Super 969, the line 09 right, wind 060 degrees, 7 knots.
At that time,
Clear the land 09 right, Super 969, thanks. 2637, left Alpha, ground 121.9.
Left Alpha and ground 121.9. Speed per 637, thanks for the service.
Shuttle 7 Sierra Heathrow, good evening. Number 1 Hotel, squawk 7207 mode Charlie.
7207 and Charlie, and Number 1 Hotel, Sky.
257.
Well, that was fun.
Chamber 15 November, hold position, I'll call you back.
Very busy on 9 right tonight. Okay.
And Stewart 790, there should be another British Airways aircraft, he's an A320, and once he's cleared, you can taxi to stand 527 by Yankee.
Let's get the APU on whilst we're waiting.
Once the other British Airways is blown off, we can taxi to stand 527 by Yankee.
Turn off the strobes. Turn off the
Scarborough
wings.
772 ready for taxi.
Scarborough 772, taxi Lima Alpha, hold or Hawker.
Lima Alpha, hold runway 09 right.
Speedbird 637 on Alpha.
Shuttle 19 Alpha, contact Heathrow Director 119.725, bye-bye.
119.725, short 19 Alpha, goodbye.
Speedbird 736.
637.
637 Heathrow ground, hello. Taxi Alpha, Charlie, stand 541.
Alpha Charlie 541, Speedbird 637, thank you. So that was the traffic just behind us, which was why we had to be prompting getting off. Wow, it's a miracle. I've actually been directed to use a gate that exists on GSX. If you've watched previous videos that I've put up on the channel, you will see that that is not always the case. In fact, it's rarely the case. I'm normally assigned a gate that doesn't exist.
Request number 2 accept, please.
Sky 4129, good evening, your readability 5.
Okay, so
15,
very busy.
We're giving way to a
as
Boeing
always
787 that's just behind you now, stands 237.
In the final stages of the approach there.
Approved facing the south.
Roger.
We got down safely and had an exciting bit of air traffic control in the latter stages there with another aircraft cleared to take off just in front of us. So we're going to take the next right onto Charlie, and then we're at stand 541.
Heathrow ground, Super 969 on Alpha.
969 Heathrow ground, hello. I'll be taking you the long way around, so taxi Alpha Charlie Bravo Link 55 Alpha, stand 518.
There's a Virgin Atlantic in Terminal 5.
Actually, you know what, disregard that. You can taxi Alpha Charlie to join Bravo.
Two great rivals sharing the same terminal. I'm not sure that would do in the real world, would it?
Hang on, I'll work this out, just give me a sec.
Alright, we're going to keep we're going to continue on Alpha Charlie Bravo, and we'll wait from there.
Right, so what I can get you to do, you can taxi Alpha, Charlie, Bravo, Yankee, Alpha, stand 518.
Jesus, alright, Alpha Charlie Bravo Yankee Alpha stand 518, speed 969.
I'm just going to turn that off. That sounds like some very complicated taxi instructions. So here we are, stand 541. Well, as always, it's time to say thanks very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this flight. If you've seen anything that I've done wrong or could improve on, I'd be really delighted to hear it, because that's how I learn and how I get better at doing this. If you've enjoyed watching it and you'd like to see more short and long haul flying, both on Microsoft Flight Sim 2020 and here on Prepare 3D V5, then please hit the subscribe button and please ring the bell, and you'll get notified when I put up future videos. But for now, I think it's time to shut down the engines, which we'll do here. Turn off the seatbelts, turn off the beacon, turn off the taxi lights, and we'll call it a night. Thanks very much again for watching, and see you next time.